Well, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Conference. Diolch yn fawr iawn am y croeso. Mae'n bleser I fod yma tro diwetha i'ch anerch chi. It's a great honour to be here for the last time to address this conference. Before I start, I'd like to thank some people. I'd like to thank Jeremy for his support, his kindness and his comradeship in the time that he and I have been leaders in this party. And I look forward to supporting him when he becomes the Labour Prime Minister of Britain. I'd like to thank the fantastic Chris Rees, the Shadow Secretary of State for Wales, and soon the Secretary of State for Wales. The irrepressible Carwyn Harris, my Deputy Leader, somebody who's been going up and down Wales for the last few months, promoting our party and promoting all the good that we do as a party. Carwyn, thanks for your support as well. To Louise McGee, who's the General Secretary of Welsh Labour. Louise is about to have her first child, so she's not here. But Louise, the best of luck from all of us, and we look forward to seeing you soon in the future together with a new addition to the family. And finally, the trades unions, who have been so supportive of me over the last 9 years. We've worked well together. We've delivered so much for our trades union colleagues. Thank you for all your support. And if I can mention one person who's retired, Andy Richards. Andy, thank you for everything you've done over the past few years and all the support that Unite and all the other unions have given me in that time. Now, Conference, in a little under 6 months, we will be leaving the European Union. And there's no other place to start than with the issue that I can't escape, the dreaded B word. It's difficult. It's divisive. It's turned the younger generation against older people. People inside this party can't even agree. It's turned families against one another, even my own. But there's no going back now. The world has moved on since 2016, and I have to tell you that the beard is staying. Okay. Now that's out of the way, the other B word. Now, Brexit is quite rightly the dominant issue of the day. The looming prospect of a catastrophic no-deal outcome is down to one thing: the paralysis and incompetence of this Tory government. The Chequers White Paper might have been a viable starting position for negotiations if it had been launched 2 years ago, before Theresa May sent the Article 50 letter, not with weeks of negotiating time left. If Brexit leaves the country poorer and more divided, it's clear where the blame belongs. First, the Brexiteers who said it would all be easy, the easiest negotiation ever. Remember, they said that? And second, a government which has failed this country monumentally. Conference, it's time for the Tories to go. And I'll tell you, Wales can't afford a no-deal Brexit. It would mean a new wave of industrial carnage with a real risk to advanced manufacturing, and it's my first duty as First Minister to do whatever I can to protect Wales from that prospect. I have to prepare our country for every outcome. And that's why today I'm announcing a further £6 million worth of support through our new EU Transition Fund for workers at Ford, Toyota and Airbus in Wales. Because that will give Welsh workers the new skills they need to prepare for an uncertain future. That's a Welsh Labour government in action. Brexit or no Brexit, we'll put our economy first and the needs of our workers first. So yes, Brexit is the dominant issue of the day, but it's not the only issue of the day. Nye Bevan's idea of socialism as the language of priorities is something I mentioned in my first conference speech as leader, and I want to return to that idea today. Because, Conference, this will be my last address to you as leader of Welsh Labour and First Minister of Wales. And I'm deeply grateful for the support you've shown me and Welsh Labour in that time. For too long now, we've been left alone to fly the red flag for Labour. We need Labour back in power in Westminster and in Scotland too, because only in power can you change the world for the better. And even in the hardest times, we've shown in Wales what it means to have a government that understands that the state has a role to care, not just administer. And as leader, I've contended with a decade of austerity budgets from the Tories. It's time for a Labour government in Westminster so we can put a stop to this grim drumbeat of austerity, to halt the grotesque advance of universal credit, to reignite our compassion for asylum seekers and refugees, to halt the growing inequality between boardroom and shop floor, and to resurrect fair play and a fair deal for all of our communities. Conference, we need a Labour government to remind people what Britain is for. And even through the toughest times, we in Welsh Labour have found a way to keep that flame alive. We're delivering for our communities in Wales, and that's the prize that power offers. Conference, we ended the internal market in the Welsh NHS, ensuring a health service fit for purpose and true to Bevan's ideals. We scrapped the right to buy, ensuring that housing stock for those who need it most is protected for generations to come. We stood with our brothers and sisters in the trades union movement to defend Wales against Tory attacks on workers with our own radical Welsh laws. Conference, we intervened to save our steel industry and protect thousands of jobs in the face of international turmoil and indifference from the Tories in London. Now, some of you in this hall will remember marching with the junior doctors. Well, that didn't happen in Wales because there were no strikes in Wales, because we respect our doctors and all our NHS staff. And that's why tomorrow the Welsh Labour government will give doctors and dentists the pay rise they deserve at a level above that offered in England. Because we do things differently. And we do things differently because in Wales Labour governs. And there's more. Unemployment in Wales is now lower than London, thanks to a Welsh Labour government that shares the aspirations of our citizens and invests in them. Right across Wales, we're building new schools, supporting students through university, and delivering this year record top results for our A-level students. We're world leaders for sustainability and recycling. Labour values delivered and held up as an example around the globe. We're building a world-class railway for the future, investing millions on new trains, improved stations, and more frequent services. And working with our trades unions, we will guarantee a guard on every train. A transport revolution designed in Wales, rooted in Labour values and built in Wales for Wales. Built for Wales, not for profit. And only Labour can make these changes, because only Labour wants to make these changes. And I want Jeremy in number 10, so that people right across the UK can see those positive changes too. But to do that, I make this plea to you. To better the country, we first have to better ourselves. The world's changing. Politics is changing. The party's changing. But it always has, and it always will. We talk, don't we, about the dumbing down of politics as if the idea just occurred to us. And yet, the American writer Neil Postman was writing about public discourse in the age of show business back in 1985. He worried back then that with an actor as a president, it symbolized that entertainment had taken over the world. Well, I don't know about you, but I'll take a B-movie actor any day of the week, even a Republican, over the reality TV star that currently inhabits the White House. And many of the challenges we face today have been faced before. The media may be different. For Neil Postman, it was all about TV. Today, it's more about social media and politics by WhatsApp. Some things don't change. Some things shouldn't change. Take, for example, the value we've always placed on decency and civility, the basic moral code by which you can measure any nation, any community, any religion, any political party. What is hateful to you, do not do to your neighbor. That is the entire law. All the rest is commentary. It's a moral code that defines Judaism. For that matter, Christianity, humanism, Buddhism, Islam, Hinduism. And it's a code that's been missing in the way we talk to one another lately. And I want us to bring that back. You might disagree with your MP or AM. You might disagree with your trade union rep. You might be uncomfortable with the latest idea from the Fabians, the Co-op, Momentum, or Progress. But these concerns are not special. These differences are not sacred. That's not what defines us. These are small and petty distractions. There's a Maori saying, "Toko toa he toa rangatira." My bravery is inherited from the chiefs who come before me. I stand tall on the shoulders of giants. And this is a party built on the shoulders of giants. Where we are today is made possible by the foundations built by our proud history and the proud history of all working people. So change the party, yes. Change our policies, yes. But we can't lose our values. And we can't disrespect the people from every walk of life who gave up so much of their lives to bring us all here today, in touching distance of another UK Labour government. We can show the country. We can show the country we can lead by first showing the courage to unite and work alongside colleagues with whom we might disagree. It must be right that we treat one another with respect. And nowhere have I seen the need for more action and more respect than in relation to gender inequality. The Me Too movement highlighted to me that even the groundbreaking steps we'd taken, in particular in relation to our violence against women legislation, were just those steps. We need leaps forward on this agenda, and we need them today. And so today, I can announce that the Welsh Government is no longer willing to wait for the UK to ratify the Istanbul Convention on combating violence against women and girls. It's surely a level of legal protection that everyone in Europe should expect, and a level of protection that's afforded already in 33 countries. And through the policy choices we've made, we comply fully with that convention. And today, we ratify that convention in the names of the women and girls in Wales and demand the UK government does the same. Because we want to make Wales the safest place for women anywhere in Europe. And I'm convinced that we rely too much on volunteers in the third sector to provide refuges for victims of domestic violence. And the availability of support for victims of rape and sexual assault is too varied, because a woman's safety and that of her family can never be a postcode lottery. There must be an ever greater role for government in creating a truly national network of support. And that, I believe, is the next challenge ahead of us. But, Conference, you will know the fight for equality isn't won. There are those, we've seen them, there are those that will fight back against every step forward that we take. Now, Conference, in the next 2 weeks, the contest to become the next Welsh Labour leader will begin. It's a contest in which I'll play no part, but it is a contest. And as Jeremy has said, we need to make sure that we see diversity. We need to see the widest and most diverse choice possible. I have to tell you, Conference, I've always stated that it would be wrong, utterly wrong, in 2018 to have such a contest without a woman on the ballot paper. And I have to say, Conference, if necessary, I will lend my nomination to make sure that happens. And to describe that as tokenism will be a description that is given by those who do so from a position of privilege and willful ignorance. 100 years on, the plea of the suffragettes for deeds and not words is alive and as electric and as vital as ever. Equality is not job done, it's work in progress. And so it's for us, as a Labour Party, to move forward. We are here only to pass the party and the country on to our successors, to make sure that it's in better shape than we found it. I have to say, I'm proud of what we've achieved together. We've delivered for the people of Wales for 19 years, and now we need a Labour government in London to help us create a society where there's fairness, justice and opportunity across the whole of the UK. I won't be First Minister, but I'll be with you in that battle, behind my parliamentary colleagues in the next general election and my Assembly colleagues in 2021. Conference, thank you for all your support, and now let's finish the job.